Hey everyone, I'm going to do a top-down analysis on GBPJPY. We're starting from the monthly time frame, and then we're going to go down all the way down to the hourly and maybe the 30-minute time frame. So on the monthly time frame, we can identify that there's been a high here and a low in these regions in the 1.117.9 region. We're going to use the horizontal ray tool to identify highs and lows. So now we're going to do that now. First, identify the high, and then identify the low. And of course, we identify the highs and the lows because they are reference points. Price technical analysis is based on the fact that price may do what it has done in the past. So if you see price reject a certain level, we mark that area for as a reference point to say in the future it will reject that level. So we see that there's a high here, a low here, a high here. We're going to mark those levels, connecting them with the trendline tool. So we connect those highs. Why do we connect the highs? Once you have 2 points, it's a reference point for the third. And normally on the third or the second time, you will have so whenever it's the high, use a horizontal ray tool for a double top or a double bottom. Whenever it's low, and if it's a trend, as in the highs and the lows, you see that this is a downtrend. We connect the highs with the trend line tool, watching it to see what price does on the third touch. So we're going to mark it and lock that tool. Going down to the weekly. All right, so on the weekly time frame, we can see that price has been creating a rising structure here to form a high here. So we're going to mark that with the horizontal ray tool. So that is now locked. We have this as a reference point. Sometime in the future, price may or may not. But however, if it does, it reacts to this level. We're going to use it as a reference point to look for a sell, or if it breaks and retest it, we can look for a buy. But it's still a very important key level. Do the same for the low. We're going to identify the low. We identify the low, we lock it. All right. Looking here, we can see that price was coming down, formed a wick, came back up, then it started to drop. And then what happened before it reached the low? It started to rise. We're going to identify what structure may have been here, why price rose from that level. So if we were to use the trendline tool, and of course I told you about the third touch levels, those are very important. Once you get the third touch, it's very important. Then we mark this because of course price wouldn't have been at this region as yet. So we're going to ignore this level for now. Everything from this point on will be ignored. So we can see the reason why price rejected this level. We had 1, 2, 3 touches. It broke. If this level were to be extended, it would have broke through. Then of course this would have become invalid. What would you do when you see price reject that level? We extend the trendline tool and just adjust it. Then price will be heading down to this layer of support, which is also a level, a double bottom level. So we're going to move this trend line tool because this will become invalid. However, we see that this is a low. So we have this low, this higher low, and then we see that price went all the way up. We're going to use that first higher low as a reference point, extend the tool out, and what do you see? 1, 2, 3 touches on support, which is also confluence. What is confluence? Confluence is multiple confirmation for a buy or a sell in a trade. That's just so we just had multiple confirmation. Just want to keep this wick accurate on the wick, and that is enough. So we had third touch on the trend line tool down here, and then another touch on the support here for double bottom. We're gonna go on a daily time frame to identify what structure is taking place here and what is happening. So we're gonna go down to the daily time. On the daily time frame, we can see that price rejected the support level. What happened after price rejected the support level? We can see that it formed a new high here, and if we were to use the The rectangle tool is used to identify demand and supply zones, which are basically a range of prices to which price respect. So it's a range of prices that the market respects. And as you can see, it formed the resistance level here, or the supply zone, found support, retested, and then rejected, formed this new low. We're going to mark that low. But you might be asking, why did price reject this level? If we were to use the fib tool, we will see why. From the low to the high, just watch the zero, watch the zero. So as you can see, I'm putting the zero level at the tip of that. So from the low to the high, came down to the 50% level, rejected at the minus 0.27, which is also a target level. And if you want to get technical, you can also use the rectangle tool, mark that support level there, extend it out. And we can see that is also a resistance level that was rejected. Here's a support. Support was broken, found new support, retested and rejected, down, which is also a key level. So it's also a key level on the fib, also a key level on the chart. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna identify this is a high, this is a high. That's 2 points. So what we do when we have 2 points, we connect them with the trend line. So we're gonna do that now. 1 point on the high, connect it. That's it. What we're gonna do with the same thing here. We're going to do the same thing here. Go on a 4-hour time frame for more clarity. So we have the low there, as we marked before. We're gonna put it on the tip of that wick and then extend out. So we extend the channel. We can see that price is now in a channel. So what we're gonna do is identify what structure is happening at this level, and then identify what price has been doing at these levels and what forecast is possible. So that we see that we have one touch on the support here, a second touch on support, which is a rejection. And of course, we already had two touches on the resistance level. So most likely, we may have, if price were to come up here, break this level, retest, we may have a third touch on this resistance level here. However, that's far, far, far. It's about 800 to 700 pips up. So we're not going to focus on that too long because we may have a correction on the fib level here for a push down further. So we're not going to focus too much on that. We're going to go on down on the 4-hour time frame closer to identify what structure has been formed and what price will be doing in the future. Do a small quick forecast. So we had support here, we had a rejection which formed a new high. If we were to use the horizontal ray tool and mark that level, what we would see, we can see that price practically came back to a level, rejected it. So we had a support level here. Price came up, formed a new high, came down, and what happened when it came down? It formed a new low. But this low is higher than this. So we can practically say this is a higher low. What happens at the higher low level? We're going to go down to the 1-hour time frame for more clarity. On the 1-hour time frame, we can see that, let's adjust this trend line a bit more. On the 1-hour time frame, we can see that price found support, retested the support, and of course, as we said before, what price does in the past, it may do in the future. So this is why we use the technical analysis. So this is a double bottom, one level, rejected, retested, rejected again. But let's see what structure was here. We had a high here, a high here. What do we do when we have 2 points? We connect them. So we're going to connect these. What do you see? We have a support level Let's connect this as well, because this is part of the structure. So we had one touch, two touch on the resistance, one, two, three touch on support, three touch, we have a break and retest. We didn't just have that retest, we had a retest twice. And what twice does in the past, it may do in the future. So we can see that we had a double bottom here. We're going to mark that as well. See, it's keep on repeating, guys. Had that support level there. Price retested the level. So we had one touch on support, retested the level, went up. What did it do? It formed a new high. What happened when you find a new high? Mark that level. We see that when the price found a new high, it broke through this support. So of course this will be invalid. What will happen is, since this is invalid, must be we're gonna use that fib tool. What does fib do? It shows hidden support and resistance in the market. So we're gonna mark that level with the fib tool. And what do we see? We see the 50% retracement, or the 50% level being respected. So this high came down, hit the 50%, rejected. What happened at this level? What price did in the past, it may do in the future. So we can see that this resistance level here, let's mark that properly, was rejected. This resistance level was rejected. See a rejection, formed a new low, new high, a lower high. However, it formed a, compared to this, a higher low. So let's connect those points. We had one, let's connect these points. We can see this is a lower high as well. So of course, we're going to connect those. So we had one, two, three touch. And what happened when you get the three touch? Move in the opposite direction. So currently, this is the structure that we have on the GBPJPY. We can see that we had that pennant or triangle structure, which is a continuation structure. We had that touch and support, broke, and we're going to mark this level. Rectangle tool. We use this rectangle tool to mark what happened there. So we can see that the resistance level, or the wicks, is where you want to mark with the rectangle tool. And what happened with the wick is it marks rejection. Whenever there's wicks, it shows rejection. So price was rejecting this level, found support, found another level here, and of course it's rejecting now. What may happen for the forecast is a rejection to this support level here for a continuation up. However, if that doesn't happen, we can also expect a break of this level here for a continuation down. So this is for now what we're expecting. However, we must go to the 4-hour time frame for the overall move from the previous resistance level to the support level. We're going to draw a fib tool to understand where the key levels are. Give me a second, let me adjust this trend line at the resistance level. Adjust, lock, fib tool from the resistance level to the support. And of course, we can see that the 50% level, which is a very important level to watch when doing trading. 50% level is a very important level to watch. You can see that the 50% level here is a few pips above where price currently is. Let's measure that. So it's about 72 pips up, 72 to 75 pips up from where price is. we may have a pullback to the support, rejection to either the 50 or the 61.8, and then we may have price from that point on reject down to either this new support, if it breaks that, to this support, and if it breaks that, a retest for a continuation down. However, for now, the highest probability of it touching somewhere is the 50% because it has to touch a 50 before the 61.8. So the highest probable level is the 50%, and then we may see continuation up or a break here for a continuation down. Or we may have the 50% hit, then a breakdown to further levels. So for now, this is the forecast for GBPJPY, and that is how you do a top-down analysis. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.